Let's go! This LSU offense continues to cook. And also today we're going to talk about how this could have been a setback for the defense. I know it sounds crazy, but we're going to talk about all that, okay? Now, very good play to start things off. It's first down. I love Mike calling a lot of RPOs and just runs on first down just in general. If everybody's committing to the box, let's just pick up and throw this football to Kyron Lacey, who catches the football with a lot of room right here. Let's see if he can make a guy miss. He doesn't. Actually, he does. Good stuff by Kyron, and we pick up a nice 15-yard gain on first. Second and 10, and Mason Taylor's just playing at an extremely high level. We missed him, I believe, out in the flats on first down. I just love what he brings to this team, okay? So, essentially, he's a left tackle here, right? We leave him one-on-one versus his blitzer. And look at how he dominates this assignment. That is absolutely perfect, okay? Now let's just take a look at the route concept after we know that there's good pass protection. This is actually a double move from BTJ. He's going to fake like he's going here and break out here. A little leak right here from Logan Diggs out into the flat. So if Jayden wanted to take this, he could have. He did a good job letting this move develop right here from BTJ. And right here, this actually isn't that great of a throw by Jayden. We need this football on this outermost shoulder. But because the ball was behind him, it did let BTJ turn upfield. But watch this move right here. Okay, 4 is their best corner. And BTJ, a little stop and go. So he sticks his leg out this way to make fourth thicket. He's going to cut back this way. And instead, he actually cuts upfield. Once again, he never goes down on first contact. Picks up a nice gain right there after only 7 yards last week. So I want you to see this route. This was a good job by Jayden seeing that the leverage was in our favor. We're running out, and you can see this DB is a little bit more to the inside of this wide receiver here, and BTJ still has to get this DB to think that he potentially could be going vertical here. And look at how he sells this. Bang. Got this hips turned around and got him flipped around. Can't really run that route much better than that. And BTJ looking like a Sunday player. This is some really good stuff by Jayden. Look at how early he throws this football, okay? Jayden last year would just wait for this guy to just get so wide open and his head turned around totally. This time, Jayden is throwing with a lot more anticipation on this out, and Chris Hilton is able to make this guy miss. That's not one of his strongest suits, so it's good seeing Chris break some tackles here. And on this next play, on this Caleb Jackson run, I get a lot of questions about what I do here. All right, and how I go about evaluating, grading, all that stuff. Once again, I talk a lot about it on Patreon and in the Discord. I want you to put yourself in my shoes, or let's just put yourself in Brian Kelly's shoes. I only had one player on this play get a neutral/negative grade, okay? And I want you to give it your best guess on who had the negative neutral grade on this play, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you take a look at it again, okay? And just give it your best guess. Because we all have our own opinions. You might disagree with what I have to say here. Once again, like we always say in the middle of every film study, I don't know all the play calls or anything like that, okay? And I am not a coach. Now, let's just go through this play one by one, okay? First off, good call by Mike. It's 1st and 10. We're running another RPO. So Jayden's job right here is to read this backer. If this backer crashes in, we want Jayden to pick this up and throw it to Mason Taylor. Now, truth be told, it still could have been thrown to Mason Taylor right here, but Jayden did a good job reading this. Let's just hand it off right here. We've been throwing a lot on first down. Let's just run it. I think this was actually our first run of the game. So I don't give a neutral negative grade to Jayden or Mason. This is really good stuff. All the receivers are doing their job as well. Now, what about the run blocking here? Did somebody miss a block? Well, no. This is one of the most perfectly blocked run plays of the season, okay? I want you to see Will Campbell. He has this guy blocked all the way to Monroe. Look at that. That's just nasty stuff. Now let's take a look at his Neville teammate here at right tackle. Look at where Lance Hurt throws 49. All the way back up to Shreveport. That is absolutely nasty. Our guard's getting a good double team. Look at Garrett Dellinger getting to the next level right here to this backer. Miles Frazier has this guy thrown all the way upfield. Now, the only neutral/negative grade is from Caleb Jackson, right? This is not a bad run, all right? I never mind when a running back just gets as vertical as you possibly can, right? It's better than going horizontal and not hitting when the hole is wide open. But a running back of his ability, and his ability is immense, we don't want you just running people over. A good run over is a great highlight. That's great. But guess what? You're normally getting brought down afterwards, right? He had one of these versus Auburn where he ran over the linebacker, and it was a good highlight, but he was able to bring him down. Caleb, if he makes this guy miss in either direction, whether he's able to break an arm tackle through here or if he's able to cut here or creatively cut out here, he's probably scoring. But the linebacker here makes a really good run, a really good tackle, and Caleb does fall forward here. So that is good. So now we get the second. They just bring everyone, so this play is just going to be dead. Jayden decides to pull it. I get pulling it there because everything was just covered. This is ridiculous, so he was able to just get back to, the line to gain, got a little bit of a bad spot. So now we get to this 3rd and 1 right here, and everything is just blocked really well. Good read right there by Logan to bounce that right there, and he almost broke through there for a tutty. So eventually we get to here. Once again, I'm not the happiest when I see BTJ in like that. Still, I'm happy when we score touchdowns. I'll take this all day, every day. Good block right there by Lance and everyone on that right side, and we're able to score. So we move ahead here to this 3rd and 5, and honestly, it was another good game from Harold Perkins, okay? Running an option to the right side, and Perk actually faked at first like he was going to the quarterback, and then he's able to play this pitch. That's ridiculous right there. Now, you just can't give this edge up. If you do, it's probably a first. And Perk does a good job getting as wide as he possibly can. And he's able to, bring this guy down. Good stuff. All right, so we get to here. And, for me, I don't know where Gregory Clayton is lined up. We had a punt safe. As you can see, we're not even trying to block them, really. We just need you to make a fair catch. How short of a punt was this? Is that fieldable? I think that's fieldable. Still, we lost about 10, 15 yards right here not fielding this punt, so we're backed up. He gets beat really badly. It's a little awkward, though, because they weren't in their stances. He gets beat badly by their best defensive lineman, Hill. And you see he swim moves him, and we got unblocked A-gap. Well, it was blocked. He just whiffed. You get A-gap pressure. Okay, this is the only pressure a quarterback really can't escape from, which is A-gap pressure. So we need a better block right here from Charles Turner. This is still really good stuff by Jayden to eventually see Mason Taylor right here. It's just a bad throw. It's high and away right there, and there's just nothing Mason can do. And now we get to this 3rd and 5, and this is just good anticipation by Jayden. He sees that this DB right here has inside leverage on Malik Nabers, so he knows this out is going to be open once he sees number 2 bailed out this far back. So Jayden throws this with a lot of anticipation, and it just needs to be a better throw. Now, I understand his logic here. You want to make sure you don't underthrow this because it is a touchdown going the other way. Still, that needs to be a better ball right there to Malik. And also on Malik's side of things, we don't want him diving for catches unless you absolutely need him to. And right here, I think he could have laid out there and caught that. Still. Now, of course, if you want to get really frisky, LSU has converted a lot of 3rd downs this year on a delayed drag over the middle. Okay? So you could make a case that you could have worked all the way back here to Chris Hilton, but this was open. We just got to complete this. So 1st down, and Alabama's going to see this on film, that we like to play way off receivers on first, okay? And if you're Army, they should have just done more of this on first. They ran the football way too much on first, and they get a nice throw and a nice gain right here. All right, so we move forward to this 3rd and 8, and this is one of my favorite Matt House calls. We're bringing a simulated pressure. This linebacker is coming from all the way over here, okay? And Oviegufu is going back into coverage. And this is just nasty stuff, okay? First thing, good job by Savion Jones making sure he engages with this right tackle so we can ensure that we have a linebacker going up against one of their running backs. Okay? So you can make a case that this ball should have been delivered right here, but I'll show you the end zone angle in just a second. Zay Alexander was all over this, okay? But the truth is, not only do we want to get a sack here, we want to make sure we don't lose contain to the right side. We want their young quarterback to force to beat us from the pocket. 21 right here, just not a good job protecting this at all. That's way too soft. Bama will be way tougher to get through than that, but I want to show you the end zone angle here. So, obviously, you'll see the edge pressure come from this direction. This right here from Mason Smith is absurd, okay? And this is why, he's a 5-star, right? He's got the NFL, draft capital, okay? They're interested. So, at first, he gets a one-on-one matchup versus his guard. But this actually turns into a triple team. Once Ovie Oghoufo drops out, 78 is able to double team Mason Smith. No big deal. He swim moves this guard. So now it's 78 and 51 versus Mason Smith. And watch this. He puts 78 on his butt, and he's able to collapse his pocket right here with 58 while keeping his outside shoulder free. So if he wanted to bail out this way, he could just disengage and run right there. Just excellent stuff right there by Mason. Now, of course, you would like to see Savion get off this a little bit easier, but the truth is we just need him to make sure we get this block locked in so he can take advantage of this one-on-one matchup. And watch this. He attacks this outside shoulder of the running back, and he's able to keep contained, and Greg Penn gets himself a very nice sack. So last week on Patreon, we actually broke this play down versus Auburn, right? Remember, Jayden had a rollout to the right, and I like seeing Jayden do that because you've not seen him rolling out on a scramble drill, throwing the deep ball over the top, okay? Now, if you sign up for Patreon, I'm going to hook you up with a BTJ card if you sign up tonight. Every single one of you will get a Brian Thomas Jr. card, okay? First thing about this play, little miscommunication here. Lance Hurd is looking in at this defensive tackle, and that's why he was late to get out over here. I don't know why he was looking in right there. Maybe he thought that Logan Diggs was going to be there. I don't know. He does a good job not committing a holding penalty and just pushing him upfield, and that allows Jayden to step up, roll out to the right side, and then hit BTJ on this ball, okay? Last week versus Auburn, he wasn't able to hit this. It was an underthrow to Malik Nabers. The coverage was tighter last week, but if he would have thrown this ball to Malik last week like this, it would have been a completion. This time he leads BTJ to perfection, and of course, BTJ is straight butter after the catch. And look at this. 26 thought he was going to keep going straight. BTJ cuts at an angle, and 26 says, I'm not even trying. And it's a tutty. Look at that. Good stuff, Brian Thomas Jr. Let's go. I'm looking at you. Okay, so a lot of you know about the live stream schedules. Just want to invite each and every one of you to come to the live shows, right? Some of you just watch the film studies, but you miss out on the creme de la creme when we all get to hang out with each other. And, so you guys heard me in the beginning saying, hey, this could have been a step back for the LSU defense. Obviously, a shutout is a good thing, right? You never want to put anything away from a shutout. But I am a little worried about some of our run fitting issues, okay? So this is a simple run to the right side. They're pulling a guard around. And what happens with the Madhouse LSU defense quite a bit, or not a whole lot, but way too much at this level, is we get the same guy in the same gap. Okay, just by reading this, Ovie Oghoufo's job is to stay on the outside shoulder of this end because we don't want Mason Smith and Ovie to be in the same gap. But that's exactly what happens here. When Mason sees that this is a run to the right side, you'll see him disengage right here and swim into this gap, okay? The inverse of that actually happens here with Ovie Oghoufu, right? He ends up getting sealed to the inside B gap. So you notice they're both in the same gap right here, and they are trying to run to the right side. So this is an easy little bounce read for the running back. And the issue when you get in the same gap is, number one, it cuts each other off from potentially going to make a tackle. It just stalemates you, gets you caught in your tracks. And number two, it makes it easier for other guys to get blocked, right? So now that this gap is occupied basically by the same person, this guard is able to get tighter around here to block Omar Spates. And if you're Omar Spates, there's just nothing you can do, right? That's just getting dominated. A little bit of a catch on the block right there. You don't want to see that. But still, you can't really blame Omar there because, well, we got, peeled to the inside in the same gap right there. All right, 2nd and 4. And guess what? They're like, okay, let's just do the same thing, but kind of run a little zone play to the left. We need to be careful as a defensive line over penetrating plays, okay? So, obviously not a great rep right here by Mason. He gets kicked all the way out here. Jordan Jefferson is trying to get upfield to make a play. That's how he played at West Virginia, and he kind of gets blocked out of this play right here. There's a lot of good second-level blocks here, and that right there is just a little too easy. A better running back is getting through here clean. Okay, you see, he kind of just tripped on his own, and he's able to pick up a first down. All right, so Alabama's going to run on us, right? They're going to try to run on us. Hopefully we're able to stop it. We will have Wingo back, hopefully, by this game. Okay, let's first focus on Mason Smith here. Okay, does a good job taking on this double, all right? And his gap is this gap right here. But eventually, you've got to feel out that 65 is trying to seal you here, and we need him to disengage. Sometimes I think Mason just gets too caught up in fighting with the offensive lineman, and you see he tries to swim back this way when the run is going this way, right? You got to keep your eyes, keep your pad level. You got a little high right here, and just kind of feel out where this run is going to. He thought that there was a cutback going through here, so him cutting back here opens up this gap here, okay? Now, the next thing is this is a very difficult play right here for Jordan Jefferson to make. He's got to take on this double team. This is his gap, okay? That is a wide place to get displaced, okay? He was right here. He's now all the way over here. Now, I will give him credit. 51 falls on himself, and he's trying to get to the next level here to Harold Perkins. Jordan Jefferson does a good job fighting back into this gap. We just need him to make this tackle, okay? And he just doesn't, all right? He whiffs. Harold Perkins misses a tackle right here, and our run fits aren't good there, okay? We had numbers, and we should be able to stop that run, and he's able to fall for it. Almost broke Greg Penn and Andre Sam's tackle there as well, okay? Yeah, let's go ahead and show you the end zone angle, okay? Simple little zone play to the left. Dominates 68 yet again. Sits on that double, okay? Look at that. I mean, just look at that, okay? Everything else was actually blocked pretty well. I mean, I want you to see Jacobian Guillory here. He gets blocked all the way past Mason Smith, okay? So this gap is there, okay? He's at least getting to Omar Spates here, and Mason Smith makes his play. Look at this. Face full of helmet. Absolutely crazy play. Good stuff. I mean, look at this. I mean, he is built different, okay? I love it. All right, so now we get to here, okay? This is Jalen Lee, the transfer from Florida, okay? Look at him take on this block, sits on this double, sees where the running back is going. This is way better from Jacobian Guillory. This is perfect. We just need you to make this play. You're 320 pounds going up against this running back. You have just got to make this tackle. And he misses it, okay? We have just got to become better tacklers at the line of scrimmage. Still, the missed tackle there is just not as big as a missed tackle down the field, okay? But you see, he's able to fall forward right there and pick up some nice yardage. All right, so this is why I feel this could have been a negative performance from the defense. The quarterback play was so bad, okay? And that's nothing against the young man here. We'll talk more about it here and throughout this film study, all right? This will be the worst quarterback LSU plays this year. All right, this is a true freshman zero-star recruit making his first ever start in Tiger Stadium. And look at all this space. This is a really, really good play design right here. So they've been running the football on us, and now they're taking advantage of these numbers. Okay, and look at how far back this corner is. But I want you to see how bad of a throw this is. This is a wobbler. 87 actually had to move to the football, and just a better throw right there is getting you a big gain. But look at Harold Perkins just pursue right here. This is really good stuff right here by Sage Ryan as well, taking on this block. All things considered, we lost some minimum there. Good stuff on the outside. So now we get to here. 1st and 10. Look at this. We're just blowing this play up. Good stuff. Let's see who's all in there. I think that's Big Mason again. I mean, Mason, once again, really, really, really good game. Let's see. Who is that right there? Yeah, it's Big Mace. So take what I'm going to say from the LSU perspective again. This is nothing against this young man making his first ever start, but this is an 18, 19-year-old kid. He played at a good high school where Mason Taylor played St. Thomas Aquinas. This is why I think this could be a setback, because this is wide open. Okay, RPO read, all you have to do is make this throw right here to 15. Okay, but you can see he makes the good RPO read. He sees Greg Penn, fall back or come in to help stop this run. Safety is this far back, but you can see here at the last second, he sees Greg Penn in his periphery, and he just throws his football so high and away. 15 is open, right? This should have been a pretty nice gain, but he throws it right to Andre Sam. So still a really good play by Andre Sam. Good job blocking across the way right here for a huge interception. But that was more really poor quarterback play than anything else. So once again, good play. We want to make that pick. But, let's be real. All right, so we get the pick. Good stuff, good blocking down the field. Get a nice explosive gain from Andre. And now we are running a variation of smash, right? So he's running it to the flats. We got Malik Nabers in the slot where I feel he is at his best. And we get JAYDEN Daniels throwing an absolute bullet from the pocket. And unlike the throw to BTJ, this is a little bit better on that outside shoulder. And God, JAYDEN's just playing so well. And this actually ended up being a really good tackle right here. All right, so we get a run here on 1st and 10. Part of the reason why I don't like getting tight, it's just too many people to block, right? So we get a decent run here on 1st down. Good job by Logan finishing, this run off pretty strong. And then we get to here, okay? Remember this, okay? We'll come back to this right here, okay? I love pre-snap motion. Okay, the two teams in the NFL that have had the best offenses have been the Dolphins and the 49ers. They lead the NFL in pre-snap motion. We talked about this in the post-game press conference, okay, or the post-game live stream. We're also one of the heaviest pre-snap motion teams in the SEC, not only this year and last year. And one thing you'll see from LSU in this game is they did a lot of these circular kind of motions with all three of the players, okay? And I'm not talking about pre-snap, but just kind of post-snap. So what I mean by that is think of it like a rotating circle, okay? So we had Kyron Lacey go like this. We had BTJ go like this. And we had Malik Nabers go like this. So it's kind of a replacement, right? BTJ replaces Kyron Lacey, and then obviously Malik Nabers is replacing BTJ. Think of it as just like a recycle symbol, if you will, okay? And that's pretty much what this is. Now, why is that difficult to defend? Well, versus zone coverage, it could be very tricky, or it could be man coverage. Either way, I can't really tell if this was zone or man. It's just kind of tough because it was such a bad coverage bust. I don't know if 27 was supposed to run with BTJ here or if he was supposed to pick up Malik in the flats. Jayden sees that this safety bit right here on Kyron, and he's actually running, a whip route back this way, pivot route, whatever you want to call it. And Jayden has a really good pocket to throw this football, and that just creates wide open tutties such as this one. All right, so happy for BTJ having the season that he's having, and we get back to here, okay? So a little bit after the snap, and once again, it's the same thing. So Mason is just dominating this guard. He does a really good job chopping down on that arm, and he sees where the ball is going. We just need you to make this tackle, okay? And we just can't do it. Now, it is good that he slowed him down. That's a lot better than, the Ole Miss game where they were just running flush through us. Good job of Jacoby and Guillory helping to finish this run off. Okay, so now we get to here. A little cut off. Good job by Mason. That is a blatant hold right there. We also bring, once again, sorry on this copy, it is kind of cut off. We bring a little run blitz here. Harold Perkins just coming off the edge, flying in here. 2 5-stars combined to make a really nice play. Once again, he was held pretty bad right there. So you give him the benefit of the doubt. Still a good job by Tank helping finish this and getting him to the ground. Okay, so now we get to this 3rd and 3. We got everything squeezed down. I mean, we honestly, that's pretty good. Okay, once again, we would like it to be obviously closer to this black line. We get a great penetrator here. I can't really see who that is. We just need Major Burns to make this play. This needs to be stalemated right here. It's a difficult play, but you see he kind of catches it, and he loses his momentum, and this running back is eventually able to get this first down from the second push right here. This should not be happening. We do not want them falling forward here. And I do have a theory as to why this is the case, right? This is 8 straight weeks, right? We do have a later bye week. So we do pick it up here on this next play, and obviously it's just a speed option to the left once again. Yeah, I don't know if Perk is supposed to just play this pitch man the entire way. Could we see Alabama do some of this next week? I have no earthly idea. It's kind of hard to just start running this if you haven't repped it a whole lot because it can result in a bad fumble. But they were able to run the football. No real explosive gains, but 4 yards here, 5 yards here. All right, here we get one of the top 5 defensive plays of the season. I mean, this is just ridiculous stuff from Ovie Oghoufo. Now, once again, it helps playing a true freshman 0-star quarterback because I'm not sure if Jalen Milroe fumbles here. But I will say, Ovie Oghoufo had his best game of the season, of his career actually, versus Alabama last year when he was with Texas. So hopefully we get the same thing. So good penetration here by Mason. Ovie and Mason aren't in the same gap here. Notice how much more active they can be when they aren't running into each other. Okay? Ovie's able to cut to the inside of this puller right here because he knows he has Major Burns on the outside, and he's responsible for the quarterback, and Major Burns is responsible for the pitch man. And watch Ovie just get his hand on the arm of the QB right here, and he's able to force this fumble, and then he's able to recover it at the same time. Just really good football IQ from a very experienced player and, of course, former PHL guest, Ovie Oghoufo. Great freaking stuff all around, and I love the celebration. Let's go. How many people are calling better plays than Mike Denbrock? Okay, once again, teams just do not do this enough. Throw on first down, right? We get a tighter box right here. There's 7 guys in the box. Let's get the football out in space, okay? Now, I do recommend you go to the PHL Patreon. I got a pretty exclusive breakdown on why I think Denbrock is doing some of these screens and actions like this with Malik Nabers. I think he is Just go to the Patreon. I guarantee you it's worth it. I don't have enough time to explain it here. But once again, Malik is just so freaking good after the catch, and he picks up a huge gain. And I don't know how he was able to keep his feet right there. Look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous, okay? I don't know too many people that's avoiding this tackle. You see, he is in midair, and he is getting tripped in midair. How? Somebody tell me how. I mean, that is Justin Jefferson level balance. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it is crazy how good he is after the catch. All right, so here we are on the 2nd and 9. Look at this movement we are getting right here from Charles Turner. Look at this, okay? And this right here is a really good run by John, okay? He's got to make 7 miss. You've got to make a miss, okay? You either got to juke him or you just got to run through him, okay? John decides to get vertical and run through him, and it worked because Lance Hurd, that is so freaking good, y'all. And, God, if John could keep his balance here, it's difficult. They were able to get a piece of him, but he almost scores. This is one of John's best runs of the season. All right, so I thought Jayden got in on first. I'll take it on second. Quarterback at center exchange is okay, and Jayden gets in. There you go. All right, here we go. It's 3rd and 2, and Jordan Jefferson makes another ridiculous play. So he throws the offensive lineman off of him, and he's right here to make this play, okay? We need this play to be made. It's difficult, right? Very difficult, and he misses it, okay? So as you can see, lots of missed tackles up front led to first downs. Once again, it's just short little 4 or 5 yard runs, so it's no big deal, but you'd like to see that play made. All right, so we get a really good stop by Jefferson and Guillory on first. Now we get the 2nd and 7. Look at this. That's excellent right there by Jordan Jefferson. This time he does actually shed the block and help make this play. Do get away with the hands to the face right there. That's okay. And that's just a really freaking good play. All right, so now we get the 3rd and 6. And, God, this is just a really good play by Andre Sam. Once again, this is not the best thrown football. Okay, he does have to wait on it, but it's a better throw than the last one. We need Andre Sam to make this tackle right here. This is the difference between a first down and not, and we get it. Good stuff. Now, they do elect to go for it on 4th down here. We bring the same pressure we brought earlier. Love that. We're bracketing their top guy over here with Ovi. I like that. So he stares down his target on this in breaker, and they actually protect this better, okay? Now, once again, I go back to being up front here. We just run into each other so often as a defensive line, okay? We don't want this, okay? We don't want to occupy the same gap, and we struggle shedding blocks when we think they're going to pass. Still, because the quarterback has to double pump because Greg Penn did a good job getting into the lane. He throws it. He's been staring down his target for 5 minutes now, and this should be a pick 6, okay? You've got to catch that and house that the other way if you're Andre Sam, but he does play defense, and we get a nice 4th down stop. We pick it up here on this 1st and 10 little run. I hate that this is the best copy I could find of the Army game. And I wanted to break this play down. Once again, really good blocking by Kyron and Mason. And we get Caleb Jackson more touches. He always falls forward because he's an absolute unit. And we get a nice run here on first. Now, once again, the beginning of the snap here is cut off on the 2nd down play, where Jayden throws basically an interception on a dig. Okay, so last week to Malik Nabers on a dig, we threw that interception that popped up in the air. This one should have been picked off, okay? Here's the thing about throwing the dig, right? Last year, Jayden just did not throw the dig hardly ever, okay? And a dig is just in breaker, right? Pretty self-explanatory. And part of that, and I had an OC tell this to me before. I have no idea of knowing this, but he said in his experience, the dig is the most intercepted route in football, right? It's a throw over the middle. So Jayden, of course, has been throwing over the middle as good as anyone. And last year, he just avoided it altogether. And part of it is because he was so turnover averse last year. He stared down Malik basically this entire time, and he decides to rip it. His protection is good. But if the linebackers are sinking this far back, and as you can see, it's a three-man route, max protect, so we don't have any checkdowns here. Trying to fit this in is just dangerous, okay? That should have been picked. Yes, in theory, it is open, but you have to get that up and down over a sinking linebacker. So that should have been picked. Then Malik almost made this catch. That could have been picked by this guy, and it could have been picked again. Just not a good throw by Jayden, but we want him trying to throw the digs because they gave them to us last year. We didn't throw them. This year we have been eating on that route. And we want him to stay aggressive and continue to do just that. All right, so after the interceptable throw, we get Jayden going up against a very exotic defense. They actually don't rush anybody. It's a three-man rush, but they're not even going after him, okay? I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen this, okay? They're not even going. They're saying, look, if you want to run, we're just going to sit back and wait for you to run. It still doesn't work, okay? Good job by Lance Hurd right here, nobody going downfield, because obviously Jayden could throw it. I think in this spot, he had a few instances where he could have just hit the check down to Logan for an easy first. But if you can do this, do it, okay? And this is just crazy stuff. Once again, 6 has an angle, but it just doesn't matter. And Jayden's not even running at his full speed. He just glides back past 6 for this first down. 6 doesn't even get a hand on him, and he's out of bounds before he can even get hit. Ridiculous. All right, so 2nd and 5, just not good stuff by Jayden here, okay? They call a really good call, all right? They bring a safety blitz from the 3rd level, okay? So Mississippi State brought one of these versus us, and we hit, Malik over the middle for a first to really get that game going, or just short of a first for a first down completion on 4th. This safety is coming from such a far way. Once again, this sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but unblocked A-gap pressure, we never want it. We just don't. But if it's coming from the 3rd level, the quarterback has to account for this. So the protection is really good, and we get 0, right? So Jayden needs to throw this right here, okay? This is open. Second thing is we did a lot of this, okay? Once again, go to Patreon. What do I think this actually means? I can explain it there. But right here, throw this to Malik. If we want to actually run this offense, throw it here, and he's one-on-one for a touchdown. We trust Kyron Lacey as a blocker. The protection here is perfect. It's absolutely perfect, okay? You see Charles at the last second try to get a hand on him. That's got to get ripped, but instead, Jayden just chunks this up, and it's a bad intentional grounding, and he takes a hit that was unnecessary. Our good stuff by Logan helping up his quarterback. We get to this 3rd and 11. Once again, a very bizarre pass-protecting game from Logan. So he comes over here to the right side to help pass protect, and I don't know exactly. Oh, I see what happens. He sees that Miles Frazier picks up this blitzer, but then he decides to go out on a route over here, and I think Jayden thought Logan was just going to pick this up, but Logan actually ends up cutting off our own guy, and now this guy is in Jayden's lap right here. Okay, if you're Logan, we just need you to pick this up, right? Don't just decide at the last second to just run over here. Next thing, I think Malik is doubled here to the bottom, so I don't think Jayden wants to go there. And, he runs up here to try and make something out of nothing. And I like that from Jayden. Obviously, whirl your way out. I hope Miles Frazier didn't get credit for this sack. So eventually he does find Logan out here. And we almost pick up this first down. Good stuff by Jayden sticking with the play, and Logan almost picks up this first. So, once again, not the worst rep all around, but still. All right, so we kick a field goal. You get Parashan squeezing this down. That's good stuff. And now we need him to get out here and make a play. And this ball is behind this receiver, and we just got to have that pick. You know, in theory, Andre Sam should have had 4 picks. He ended up with 2, and we almost got a nice turnover there. So we get a stop, and guess what? It's 2-minute drill time, and I like Josh Williams as the 2-minute back. You can make a case here on this snap that Jayden should just hit Kyron Lacy on this shallow drag. We have had a lot of success with just this shallow drag with all the vertical routes, you know, clearing everything out. So you could hit this. There are a few backers here, but Kyron catches this and gets to the sideline. But I never mind stepping up in the pocket and just hitting your check down. Good stuff right there by Jayden. And Josh gets this and hits it into another gear. Now, you are about to see the most bizarre tackle I have seen this year in college football. Okay, this is just strange. So you'll see that Josh Williams goes for the stiff arm, but 4 right here actually grabs and holds Josh Williams' hands, and Josh refused to let go, and he actually contorts his elbow back and tackled him just with his hand. Absolutely crazy. Alrighty, so this is the thumbnail image. Shout out to my guy Justin. He's been helping me with my YouTube thumbnails. And everybody watching this live right now, I want you, if it's in your heart's desire, just drop a $5 super chat. I dare you. One of you do it, okay? Because every Sunday night we premiere these videos at around 8 p.m. Central. And this one is going to be one of my favorite breakdowns because it shows you the genius of Mike Denbrock. So you've heard me talk a lot about pre-snap motion, all right? The LSU Tigers and the Miami Dolphins are similar in that pre-snap motion is a big part of what they do, okay? So in this case, think of Malik Nabers as Tyreek Hill and think of Mason Taylor as this receiver, okay? And once again, Mason Taylor is a tight end, but he basically serves the same purpose, okay? So this is the Dolphins going up against the Carolina Panthers. And what the Dolphins have elected to do this season, and you could watch a lot of all 22 breakdowns on Twitter, is they have decided to do Tyreek Hill, give him a lot of these shoot motions, okay? I call him a shoot motion. I think I've heard that before. What that essentially means is you're getting Tyreek Hill on a running start, okay? You're giving him some good momentum going down the field, and essentially we're stacking these 2 wide receivers, okay? Now, you notice the Dolphins actually only run a 2-ish man route right here. They're in a pretty heavy play action, max protect, whatever you want to call it, okay? So you see the Carolina Panthers probably think, okay, look, we're in a very soft pass coverage right here. There is no way that they're going to be able to get an explosive passing play on this. But you see Tua is getting ready to throw this football to Tyreek Hill, okay? And look at when he actually ripped this football before Tyreek actually made his break to the inside, okay? And that's because right here, Tyreek knew, or Tua knew that Tyreek was going to be breaking to the inside, and because he knew that these 2 defenders can't guard Tyreek in this zone kind of shell thing right here, look at this explosive passing play. This should not work in theory. They've got all their guys back in coverage, but because of the motion, it's hard as a defender to know where Malik or Tyreek or whoever is going to be, and they get an absolutely massive passing play. Okay? Now, let's see how Mike Denbrock elected to do something similar. Okay, and essentially the route concept is this, okay? The job of Mason Taylor is to just hold this tight end, okay? Now, this play has already been won pre-snap, okay? Because when Jayden sees at the beginning of this play, backer right here doesn't actually run with Malik Nabers, what Jayden is able to know right here is that there is no way that this safety who is on Mason Taylor is going to be able to get over here to Malik Nabers. And there's no way that this corner who's in zone is going to be able to get over here to Malik Nabers. Now, unlike the Dolphins play you just watched, it was the opposite, right? That Tyreek Hill actually ran the dig, and the vertical route was the clear out. So if you actually watch this play unfold, what LSU can do next time is actually have Mason Taylor go vertical, all right, and the safety is likely going to stay with Mason Taylor, and Malik actually run the dig underneath it. So this play is working either way, but we would prefer the guy who's catching the football to be going vertical for obvious reasons. So that's the good thing about pre-snap motion. You can see right here at the snap, the safety is having to make a late call to this corner, and they're not even looking at the snap. That's why Mike Denbrock is a mad genius, because it's hard to process all this information. Okay, and a lot like Carolina, you just saw they were trying to get their checks in, and you'll see. Remember we were talking about the touchdown with BTJ, the recycling motion, right? So obviously this is kind of the same thing, okay? You're running here to hold this safety. Malik is running here. BTJ is running here. And we have Logan Diggs running here. So we're basically just flooding this side of the field. I want you to see when Jayden is deciding to throw this, okay? This is trusting the scheme and trusting your receivers. It's kind of like the Missouri game all over. Look at when he is deciding to rip it. Okay, there is no turning back at this point. Of course, you could pump fake and eat it, but he is anticipating that this is going to work. Okay, that is a good sign of faith right there from Jayden Daniels. There's a lot of quarterbacks that won't have faith and just hit the wimpy check down. No, we don't want to hit the wimpy check down. We want to get explosive, and Jayden leads Malik Nabers right where he needs to be. You could not have thrown that football any better. Hit him right in the freaking number. Absolutely perfect. Let's just say this corner was able to read Malik that quickly. If he is, guess what? You can hit BTJ. If this guy goes back to BTJ, guess what? You're hitting Logan Diggs for a huge gain right here. All right? Now, why is the anticipation the most important thing about this? Because guess what? We know Mason Taylor can run a route. We know Malik Nabers can get open and make plays. When you throw with anticipation, the protection just does not matter as much. Okay? Army actually calls a really good blitz right here. All right? We're in a 5-man protection. They're holding up this left side of the line. Okay? And they're getting their best linebacker untouched through here. Okay? We are protecting this as well as we possibly could protect this. If Jayden would have waited for Malik to be wide open to throw this football, he's getting drilled. Boom. Okay? And big shout out to 31, their best player, not getting a kill shot right here to Jayden. It would have been a penalty because it would have been a late hit. But that shows you how much the rules have changed. If he would have hit Jayden 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been a penalty. He holds up. And one final angle on this. This is probably my favorite design touchdown of the season. Notice this. Hardly any wobble on that ball, right? Jayden just throws a cleaner football now, too. Mechanically, I just think he's better, and just overall, he's just so much better. It's crazy. All right, so I'm going to be real. When you actually looked at the sideline, okay, Brian Kelly looked a little concerned, right? He had a bunch of concerned looks on his face throughout this game because I don't think Brian Kelly is an end results kind of person. You hear him talk about the process, right? So obviously Malik Nabers is good. Our field goal kicking is good. I wanted to shout out the special teams because Ramos has just been excellent, and he got robbed of that field goal versus Missouri. So what you don't see is Nathan Dybert, who has been fantastic on kickoff duty, went back to his old ways. He kicks it out of bounds. Okay, so they're able to start this drive from the 35-yard line. They get a run on first down. And now we get to here. and it's a run on second, and we give up a huge run right here. This is the end of the half, and let's see what happens here. Greg Penn just misses his tackle. I mean, he is right here. He's just sitting there, and he just missed it. Just a really poor miss. Then Andre Sam misses, and then Omar Spates saves the day right here. And Sage Ryan is not a guy that likes to jump in a pile. So they get a huge gain, and it sets up a Hail Mary attempt. All right, so sometimes you just get very bad injury luck. This is a play that Zy Alexander got hurt. And one thing that was brought up in the postgame show is should he have even returned it, right? If it's a Hail Mary, you should just knock the football down. So you got to think about the disastrous, lead up here, right? You get the kickoff out of bounds. Greg Penn misses a tackle, and that actually sets up this Hail Mary attempt. If you don't miss that tackle, you can't throw a Hail Mary from back here. But they get past midfield. Now, I said this throughout the Auburn film study, okay? Especially when they have a bad passing attack, and especially when Peyton Thorne, and in particular Robbie Ashford, has been mostly just runners at the quarterback position. So, in this situation, if you know that the wide receivers are lined up to the right side here, okay, you as the end in a Hail Mary attempt have to know that with all the receivers on the right side over here, the quarterback is going to want to buy time to the right, okay? Because you don't want to buy time to the left because that's such a far throw. So Parrish in this situation, the one thing you cannot do is go to the inside, especially with the dual threat play extender. But what does he do? Okay? He decides to go to the inside. We don't want that. It's just so not smart. And the funny thing about this is if he would have just kept his pass rush lane integrity, Ovi beat this left tackle and were likely getting a sack right there to end the half. And then not only that, Jacobian Guillory blew his man up. So losing pass rush lane integrity is the only reason this ball even got out. You have to know in this situation that we don't want him rolling out to the right side. The next thing in a Hail Mary defensive situation is I don't understand why so many teams have guys that just sit right here, okay? Put Harold Perkins right here, and let's have a second wave so we don't allow a guy to squirt out and have a chance to crow hop into a throw that you're about to see right here. So Omar Spates in this spot, I wouldn't have gotten depth. I would coach him up to be right here and then pursue and knock his head off before he gets the chance. But now, the quarterback here has all this green acres of space to work with. Okay? Now, you get the ultimate bad luck right here. All right? This is why I think Zy Alexander made the right decision to pick this football off. Okay? Now, I want you to see how much Champ Harris got to be able to run into this throw. So you'll see he got 6 yards to run up into this throw from the let's call it the 49-yard line. Okay, and you see he is putting everything he can into this throw. All right. Now, once again, the ball came out kind of awkward. I just don't think he has a good arm. Okay. Now, every Division I quarterback that rolls out to the right side like that, you would think with a 6-yard running start that this ball is at least getting to about right here. But no, it lands right here, okay? You saw Zy Alexander look around. He couldn't believe that he had a running chance. Folks, with all his might into the throw, the ball went 40 yards. 40 yards. Okay? You've got to return this. You've got a convoy. The likelihood that you suffer a serious injury at this point is so little. But guess what happens? Well, the guy who underthrew the ball is one that ends up tackling him and hurting him, okay? They both do, actually. The receiver did a good job chasing this from behind, and he's hurt. Hopefully he's okay. All right, so we get to the second half here, and honestly, it's just, kind of more of the same. So they bring in a quarterback who I thought was better. Once again, it's 38-0, so obviously it's just a different time. And you see, they're running the football. They're opening up holes. And, if you're Alabama and you're looking at this film, yes, I would prefer teams run on us. I just would, right? Because this is just 6-7 yards instead of, once again, explosive passing plays. But, Army was able to open up holes in the run game. So we get to here. Now they're running, this triple option action. And this time Harold Perkins does play the pitch. Two does a good job faking the pitch. Runs into Harold Perkins' blind spot. And you'll see, we're struggling to get off blocks. They're getting nice explosive runs down the field. And there you go, okay? And we're just struggling to bring them down on first contact. All right, so we get to the next play here. And honestly, it's more of the same, right? Braden Swinson gets flattened by this tackle. Once again, we're in the same gap. I think Mason Smith right here fights to the inside here. And they're able to shield him to the inside. We'll give you an end zone angle here. And this is as clean of a hole you can run through. Major Burns takes a bad angle. We can't lose this contained to the outside shoulder right here. And this right here is Sage Ryan, okay? So Sage in this spot, we can't give this outside up. You are the outside corner, okay? We need you to set this edge. I know it's a little awkward because Swinson got blown out of here, but you'll see this is just easy. Very easy stuff. This clip gets cut off right here, but you see Mason is supposed to be right here. He guessed that they were going to run up the middle, okay? It is not aided by the fact that Swinson got blown out of here, okay? Major Burns has to fill this gap now. So now we need Sage Ryan to make a play. He can't get off that block right there, okay? So good job right here by Major Burns sticking with it, making a touchdown-saving tackle. And here's the thing about Alabama's running backs. They're not special, but they're really good at running between the tackles and just getting the yards that are there. Here we go. One of our best defensive line run fits of the season. Savion Jones just blows this up. Jordan Jefferson's able to get around, get a nice stop. Really good stuff right there. Good job, Pert, getting in there as well. All right, so we get to this 3rd and 10, and we get some good stops on 1st and 2nd down. Honestly, don't mind giving up a little run right here. We're trying to get aggressive. We're thinking that they're going to throw. Still, you don't like it to be that easy. Good job by Braden Swinson seeing this run and stopping his pass rush. We just need cleaner hits. We just do. Our form can be a little sloppy, okay? So you see he sticks his head down very quickly, and he's not able to see his target, right? You don't want to do that, obviously. Then, to make matters worse, Omar Spates kind of whiffs right here, and he's able to squirt through there. Okay, so they're able to pick up all these extra yards, right? And you see this throughout this film study, these 2, 3, 4 extra yards when we first make contact. All right, so now we get the nuts bus, okay? Good RPO read right here. Once again, a little bit of a low snap to start things off. Good job by Garrett. He's really good at ball handling. Pause. But he really is, and we get a nice throw right here to Mason Taylor on first, and good blocking right here by BTJ. And we get a nice gain right there. Good stuff. So I think Garrett on first missed Mason Taylor on an out. It was just a miss, and it's another RPO, okay? They're thinking that we're going to run. He pulls, hits Kyron Lacey right here, and we get a nice gain right here on 2nd down. Good stuff by BTJ not to commit a penalty. God, it's just a really good block right there. And we get a nice explosive gain right here. And Kyron is able to pick up the first. Good stuff. All right, so now we get to the Garrett Nussmeier tutty. Once again, pre-snap motion. Once again, Malik Nabers in the slot. Those are two things we wanted to see a lot of preseason. And now we get to see it with Garrett Nussmeier. And right here, we're able to score a touchdown. Now, once again, you're always at the mercy of the camera angle, and you miss out on what truly makes this beautiful. Once again, from Mike Denbrock, look at all this separation, and I love the fact that our QBs are leading our receivers even when they don't need to. Perfect stuff. Now, once again, I know I brag on the Patreon all the time. I put a lot of work into it, and we have a great PHL community there. If you knew going into this week that we said look out for the double move to Brian Thomas Jr., it was going to be there, right? I watched a good bit of Army leading into this game, and now notice I said the double move to Brian Thomas Jr., okay? I've seen Army, this is their best corner for, I've seen him bite on the double move before, okay? So we're actually calling 2 double moves. So BTJ is running one, and Malik Nabers is running one, okay? Now, Garrett Nussmeier sees that this safety gets into the box right here. So he knows pre-snap that it's Malik Nabers versus just this safety on a double move, and there is a safety over the top of this. So let me just show you this really quickly. If he would have elected to go to Brian Thomas Jr., it also would have worked because he killed 4 on this double move, and that's what I had scouted, that this was going to be here. That's a hold that's got to be called right there. So if he wanted BTJ, he's got BTJ right here, okay? Okay? He's got him right here for a touchdown if he wanted to. But he made the right decision here because Garrett Nussmeier is a beast. So you got Malik going up against his safety. Garrett gives a small pump fake there. Okay, it actually didn't force his safety to bite. It was Malik. Just a really good move right here. And I want you to see when Garrett is deciding to throw it. Look at this. This is when he is beginning his windup. Really good stuff. Okay, not waiting till he is clearly open. Just throwing this football dead center right in stride. Okay? And look, it is an absolute dime right here from Garrett Nussmeier. Once you see this right here, Kyron Lacey calling the shot. It's like the Golden State Warriors bench whenever Steph Curry goes for a 3. Well, Malik is going deep. Look, we're even getting a called shot right here. Okay, whoever this is, speak up. I want to show you some love, man. That's money. Okay, we all know it's butter. All right. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so we get to here. I like seeing Sage Ryan impress. So on first down earlier in this drive, we had him so far off, and they were able to get such an easy completion. So like to see more of that, okay? Now, Jeremiah Hughes, our true freshman corner, is so far off. This is some really good discipline from this true freshman. They're trying to run a double move. Jeremiah Hughes is just not biting on it. He's just waiting for it. And you see he's trying to stop and go. It's just not there. Okay, give Jacoby and Guillory a lot of credit collapsing this pocket, and 2 really doesn't step into this. You could see he just kind of guides it, and that pressure by Guillory forced an absolutely horrendous throw. That's where it was supposed to go. So there you go. So Andre Sam is able to gather himself, build a picnic, and then go. Good job by Jeremiah Hughes. God, that's really good stuff. Blocking him completely out of the play, and now it's off to the races. Just some excellent blocking, down the way right here. And there you go. And they finally make the tackle. All right, so we move ahead to this 3rd and 1. Really good run right here by John. They're bringing everybody here, and an even better block by Lance Hurd. Good job by John feeling out. God, good finish by Marlon Martinez. Feeling out this hole and picking up this first down. Really good running. All right, so a lot of you want Aaron Anderson to play more. He was involved with the interception last week. He ran the wrong play. This is kind of the same thing here. It's first down. This is a clear RPO read. We do this on first down a lot. We need him to turn his head because this is a huge gainer right here. Huge. Nice little sidearm delivery right there by Garrett Nussmeier, and it's right on target. Okay? So obviously you see Aaron said, that's my bad. So I like this from Mike. On second down, Mike says, look, let's get your confidence up. Let's run something relatively easy for you and also easy for our offensive line. Let's get a nice little screen. Good job by Borderlawn. Mac Markway, at least he got a piece before he got thrown out of here. That's okay. And we're getting upfield, okay? I do think, obviously, Aaron has the option to cut through here. If he would have cut vertical through here, he's probably getting more yards. He decides to get through here. It's still not bad. Good job by Lance sticking with this play and following him forward right here for a first down. So they call a penalty. That's okay. Let's go right back to Aaron Anderson. They're just leaving him open in the slot. Let's just keep playing pitch and catch. Why not? Okay. They threw Jaylen Brown right here. Is this a penalty? No, they're going to let you get away with that. He just gets thrown out of there. So, I wasn't there anyway. It was a good read by Garrett Nussbaum to get that football to Aaron Anderson, and it sets up third. So we get stuffed on third, and then we get a very interesting play call on fourth. We give Chris Hilton the ball right here on this jet sweep, okay? What a call, but this is just a great run by Chris, okay? I do think he is becoming more physical as a player, right? Physicality just really hasn't been his game. Good job by Mac Markway. Good blocks across the way right here by John. And this is a good physical run by Chris to get up in here, bang it up in there, and get this first. All right, get to here. Obviously, Garrett Nussbaum, one area of his game that he needs to get better is fades, right? He threw one right into Shelton Sampson's hands. He dropped it, so it's not on us. But we've seen him throw some picks on fades in the past, and he obviously just delivers this ball just a half second too late. Kyron's got him beat, and we just got to have that one there. We eventually get to 3rd and 13 here, and nothing was just open. I am wanting to point out, though, that this is mostly our backup offensive line with Lance Hurd, and this is just really good pass protection. I'm very impressed by this, and all things considered, everything was just covered here. Just throw it out the back of the end zone. If he can't get it, nobody can. And there's Cole Kublik right there. Good stuff, Cole. Missing the collision right there, hiding behind the goalpost. That's good. All right, so we had to settle for field goals. There's quite a few of you that want to play the young guys. Javian Toviano actually does not play this bad at all. Look at him. He comes up here, sets this edge right here. That's not bad. That's physical. Obviously, we'd like to see you find and make that tackle, but good stuff right there, and that allows Omar Speights to make this play. So it's 1st and 10, obviously with a ton of backups in, not wanting to give up any explosive touchdowns, up 48. Once again, it's a little too easy if you ask me. Kylan Jackson's in there, the freshman out of Zachary. Toviano eventually makes this tackle, and then they get a nice explosive gain on first. And then we eventually get to this 4th down. Okay, we want to keep the shutout. Good pass rush right here by the 3-tech. I don't know who that is. I think is that Ty G. Hill with the bat down? I think that's Ty G. Hill. Good play, man. Good stuff. So we get to here, scored 48 points in 4 straight games. One guy I'm rooting for is Bo Borderline, right? He gets a little lucky that this end just completely runs to the right side. But look at this seal job right here by our offensive line. It's unfair that our 4th or 5th string back is Noah Kane. Noah Kane can really play. He gets vertical right here, and he gets a nice gain on first. Good stuff. All right, left a lot of yards on the field on this GY counter. This is a lot what Florida State likes to do. So we got Kamarion Pimpton coming around the edge. He's not really a blocker, but for his development, we need him to be a good blocker. He gets caught up here because Marlon Martinez gets slowed down by this collision right here. In theory, we want Martinez to get here quicker, Pimpton to get this guy, and Noah Kane, I think, should have felt out this gap right here. Even though he had to wait on it, I feel if he just gets through here, he's off to the races. But instead, he cuts to the inside. It's still a good run on first. But we left some yards there. And then it's the Trey Holly show. We come back to GY counter. Let's see if we can block it a little bit better. It's a little bit better. We do need Martinez to get around here a little bit quicker instead of just pausing. He needs to get flat quicker so Pimpton doesn't have to wait on it. Good block by Pimpton. And, Trey Holly, I mean, as far as skills are concerned, he's not the biggest, he's not the absolute fastest, but he sees the game so well, and he's got such a natural wiggle, okay? Good job by Pimpton. God, it's really good stuff. And now, actually, I say that's Trey Holly. That is Noah Kane. My bad on that, but still, Noah Kane is phenomenal, right? He's probably the best fifth string back in the country. Absolutely good run right there. So we do try to get Mac Markway involved in the passing game, getting him a good, easy catch. It's not the easiest throw because this guy is unblocked coming off the edge. It's still a good throw, and that needs to be caught. Okay, that is a huge gainer. So now we get to Trey, and once again, it's just more of the same stuff. Love to see it. Okay, just a simple little run to the right side. Nothing really fancy. Lance Hurd, look at that. I mean, goodness gracious. You can't really block this any better. Now we just need you to get vertical. There's Mason Lunsford, finally, the transfer out of Maryland. Good job by Trey making that guy miss, and we fall forward. So the fact that we ended up scoring on this drive is crazy. So 3rd and 7, get a whiff right here to the left side right here for Bordelon. Okay, he's going up against a good player here at 31 or 50, whatever. Good run by Trey, though. He makes 91 miss, and that's Noah Kane again. That's my fault again. But look at how good Noah Kane is. I know they're tired, and these are some backups right here. That's a crazy good run. He does a good job just banging it up in there, and he actually gets this first. That is crazy. So Noah Kane had the highest success rate of any running back in the SEC last year. Once again, a little bit of a small sample there because he didn't have that many carries last year, but he was a very, very, very successful running back. Now, I'm going to do this again. I think it's really going to work because I don't believe it worked the first time. If you're watching this on a live premiere or if you're watching this down the way, there's plenty of ways you could support PHL. Hit that super chat button, or you can hit up the Venmo Cash App at Card of the Power. Now, this right here is one of the most impactful runs in LSU history. I truly do believe it from a pure betting perspective, okay? Lance Hurd is out of the game, so it is all backups in here right now. 71, I think it's Tyree Adams, a true freshman out of New Orleans, okay? We are getting counter GY again. It's Mesa Lunster coming around with Mac Markway coming around, okay? So for those that don't get the over-unders in Vegas, so LSU has been over the win total every single game this season. That is really hard to do, right? I say over the win total, over the point total in every single game, okay? So if Trey Holly just gets a first down right here and doesn't score, the game is over, right? LSU is likely just taking a knee, and that's it, right? So this is the last play for LSU to score a touchdown to get the over. So Trey has got to score here, okay? Is this a hold? He is kind of bear hugging him here. I'm glad they didn't call it. Very shocked that they didn't call it. These refs are trying to go home, though, right? They're trying not to make sure there's not another snap. So, obviously, in this situation, you want to kick him out this way. But we get Mac Markway with the critical block. Bang. Okay? This safety overruns the play, all right? So, Trey does a good job getting skinny, and him being smaller helped him out because it was tough for 11 in these guys to even see anything. Good block downfield by Bo Bordelon. Okay, he's the one that actually scores this tutty right here because that effort on what he knows will be the final play of the game is ridiculous. So we got Gregory Clayton, Javen Nichols, and someone else at the top of the screen, and now we just need Trey to put on the burners. And as Tom Hart said, I mean, that's a great missed tackle. Overwhelming touchdown run by Trey Holly. Absolutely crazy. This reminds me of the Craig Lawson pick six versus Mississippi State that helped cover the spread. Just an all-time bad beat for you unders out there. But life is too short to bet the under. So happy Trey Holly had that moment. Obviously, Trey Holly, a PHL favorite. So big shout out to him. Okay, who is that right there? I see a few riders. I think was that Preston? Either way, what a run. What an absolute run. Shout out to the students staying till the end. And these students also had the over. I guarantee it. And I love JAYDEN Daniels. Okay, look at him being happy. Now, I want to show you a text from somebody that was on the sideline. And that is just crazy that Jayden is that level of a leader. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting game, this Army game. Now, I'll save my thoughts for the defense because I know it's going to get a lot of people fired up here. Offensively, once again, a really fantastic game. Obviously, Jayden's QBR being in the high 90s does not shock anyone. His PFF grade was a little bit lower than what ESPN's QBR said of it. So, I actually agree with that. With the eye test, this was not Jayden's best game. Obviously, some rough. There really was only two rough set of downs for me, but it wasn't like a perfect game like he had versus Mississippi State or Missouri on the road or whatever. He was still very freaking good, and it is pretty clear at this point he is the best quarterback in the sport and deserving of the Heisman Trophy. The only downside is I think Marvin Harrison might be his biggest threat, and any other year Malik Nabers would be winning the Biletnikoff, but it's going to be so hard for Malik to beat Marvin Harrison Jr. as well. Still, though, it is phenomenal how good these receivers are playing for LSU, how good Jayden is playing right now, and most importantly, how good Mike Denbrock has been. Everything on offense is clicking at an extremely high level. Now, once again, you take a look at the yard per play numbers, absolutely ridiculous. 6.2 is the average yard per play of college football playoff teams, or that is actually the minimum yard per play number for you to have a legit shot at making the college football playoff. We're obviously clearing that, so we have the best offense in the sport. We now need the defense to catch up. This was a setback for me defensively. I did not expect this, right? Because when you're watching a game, you're not really, comprehending how many missed tackles there are. And really, none of the missed tackles resulted in, these huge chunk yardage gains. It was only 5 yards here, 6 yards here. So, in theory, I would prefer that. I would prefer just runs instead of throws, right? It's just simple math. But you could see in this game, if you actually watch it, and that's why I showed you a lot of run defense plays, how much we miss Mekhi Wingo and how sloppy we are in run defense. That's why before the Auburn game even happened, we were by far the worst SEC run defense when it comes to yards per carry. And it's because of the same sloppy things we've seen up front and just in all our run fitting. And it is very concerning if you ask me. Now, why am I, saying all this when we pitched a shutout? Well, games like this are a good example of how much more the quarterback affects the game more than anything else, okay? Army's offensive line didn't really play that bad of a game, right? They were actually fine. It's just they had abysmal quarterback play. This was their backup, okay? And I don't think I've ever seen a QBR difference bigger than the QBR difference in this one. Jayden had a 96 QBR. 100 is the best score you could possibly be. That is perfect, near perfect, right? Joe Burrow averaged a 95 QBR his entire legendary 2019 season. So that is Joe Burrow level quarterback play, a QBR of 96. The QBR of Army starter was 0.5. 0.5, okay? And their backup wasn't much better. So why do I point that out? Not anything against the kid, but he was a backup. I would have loved to have seen Army's actual starter get a chance to play so our defense can actually get a look. We couldn't really get a look because the interceptions that we did catch were balls thrown directly to us. So, yes, statistically, this was a good defensive performance. And, yes, we did have some good run-stuffing reps from Jordan Jefferson and Mason Smith in particular. But overall, the down-to-down sloppiness there was just evident. Once again, it was a 63-0 victory. I'm okay with it. And really good stuff from Garrett Nussmeier, right? Really excited for him, really happy for him. There's people close to him that watch our channel. So, I'm just saying that just to say it. That's really cool. That's really freaking cool. That Garrett Nussmeier and JAYDEN Daniels are playing at such a high level, and they cheer for each other's success. So I love seeing that. Now, also loved that, there was a spotlight on the military, right? Lots of military that watch this channel. Really cool stuff. The Army got to come to Tiger Stadium. First time we played them since 1931. Really cool stuff. Now, don't forget about our live streams, all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you soon. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. So, once again, please drop a donation. This obviously takes a lot of time to do. Been up all night. And tonight, we are doing stir fry. Let's go.